This was riveting TV. This woman is so just gung ho for Trump.
Clearly, in the prosecution of sexual assault cases, you are acutely aware of how important it is to protect the identity of victims of sexual assault, correct?
I have addressed this multiple times. I think others were cutting me off when I was trying to.
I just simply asked, are you aware of the fact that it's vitally important to protect the identity of sexual assault victims as you prosecute the people they accuse of assaulting them? Isn't that correct?
Excuse me. As we have said multiple times,
protection of
all victims
of the victims
are protected.
So very
you are
important.
protected under. Do you want me to answer or do you want to interrupt?
Well, because you're not answering the question. You do a Jekyll and Hyde kind of routine around here. And
this is a nasty, vile woman. This is a hateful, spiteful, demonic ass woman.
I just want you to answer my questions.
What does Jekyll and Hyde mean? Can you explain that?
Well, it means you're nice to the
Explain
Republicans and you turn like Hyde on Democrats. But let me ask you this, ma'am. We have the Epstein victim survivors here today. Representative Jayapal asked a simple question. If you would be so kind and honorable as to turn around and face them and apologize to them for outing them. I mean, how many lives have been derailed because your department was either sloppy and incompetent or willfully trying to intimidate and punish these ladies for coming forward?
Wow. A nasty, nasty, vile woman. Yeah, come November, she's out. There's no way. I can't see her survive. She's the first one to go.
Questions.
Clearly,
in the prosecution of sexual assault cases.
She's the first one to go.
Former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect.
Okay, is that a wager? Do I hear a wager? Do I hear a wager that Pam Bondi survives, or that she doesn't get impeached? Come first quarter of 2027. Is that a wager I hear? They're going to go after everybody around Trump. That's the only play to make. Let's continue.
From all the great things Donald Trump has done, there is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files.
I'm reclaiming my time. I got your answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman, please stop the clock. Stop the clock.
The legislation. This is
Time
belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center because I believe you.
Okay, you think they're going to halt the midterms? I'll take you on that. Okay, that's a bet. That's a bet.
Just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop a limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we say here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
Nasty, nasty work. Let's continue. Let's keep it going.
It's done. There is no.
We already cut that. Okay, which one is this? Which one is this?
At almost 7, the NASDAQ.
Okay, yeah, she's talking about the stock market. I'm like, bitch, what? She's on the stock market? Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. What does the Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked? Are you kidding?
The century of humiliation happened to the Chinese. It's like, oh, we control China. With what, dollars? This is a 5,000-year-old civilization. They remember. Check out this Chinaman.
Former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein.
It's just so, how could someone ever accuse?
I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from you. I just want the clips. I just want the clips. I just want the clips. Man, Bondi, Congress. I just want the clips, man. I don't want to hear anybody's commentary. I can make my own. Okay, let's go here. Okay, let's go here. Let's go here. And then the one lady that had a Jewish grandfather in the Holocaust, I was like, oh no.
You tried to cover up the murder of Alex Peretti by CBP agents. You bring fake charges against protesters like the Broadview Six and Marimar Martinez, whom your administration labeled a domestic terrorist. This is the Montessori teacher who lived in my district while protecting thugs who terrorize us and DHS authority. That's what you do. Protect and enable the criminals who are plundering our society and destroying what's left of democracy and the rule of law. Epstein accomplices, mass DHS thugs, corporate criminals. Tom Holm and Eric Adams.
These regular white folk not gonna let this go. The Epstein files will be a rallying cry for everybody moving forward. If you want these people's vote, what are you gonna do about these Epstein files? That's what these people want to hear moving forward. They want somebody's head. They want to see blood. So that will be the rallying cry, the war cry moving forward with these people. I mean, to me, it's a non sequitur, but hey, they found a purpose. And this is going to be their mission moving forward, to cast new votes for new people, right? Okay, let's continue.
Insurrectionists, the list goes on. And you talk about fighting crime, but you protect any criminal who helps you and Trump turn our country into an authoritarian gangster.
Would I smash Bondi? Yes.
And after all this, nobody supports you. I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about conservative judges who are condemning the rampant lawlessness at DOJ under your leadership. Your prosecutors are quitting in droves over being forced to prosecute low-level immigration cases, including in Chicagoland. Your MAGA base despises you because you're covering up the Epstein file. How ironic. And even your own boss has repeatedly complained to your staff about you, calling you weak and ineffective. Weak and ineffective. That's what Donald Trump thinks of you already. You will not win, however. Chicagoland rejects you. The American people reject you. Our communities have demonstrated our strength and resilience in the face of cruelty and cowardice. Democrats must impeach and remove lawless officials like you and Kristi Noem and impose accountability for every criminal action. But you can spare yourself more humiliation. Resign now and submit yourself to accountability by the American people.
Listen, I'm here for it, man. These white folk, this is their rallying cry.
Bondi, you are a disgrace to the American people. You protect pedophiles and systematically rape children. Bondi, you are a disgrace.
These white folk lit up. Okay.
When we go over to the Department of Justice for the 4 computers for every member of Congress, we see more evidence of crimes. Will you create a joint task force of the Department of Justice and governors and state attorney generals and district attorneys across the country to investigate the crimes that have taken place against these victims and more than 1,000 like them? The DOJ is not doing its job. Will you create a task force with state and local law enforcement to make that happen?
Gentlelady can respond if she wants to.
Thank you, Chairman. He called Chase Mulligan a wild goose chase and didn't even know who he was. He is a defendant in your own district who preyed on girls.
Mr. Chairman.
Well, you know what? If he were part of the Epstein investigation, you wouldn't do anything about it.
Online chat rooms and committed sextortion. Yet he didn't even.
Who is the Indian chick behind? I want to know who this is right here. I want to know who this is right here.
Even know in your tiny little.
Okay. Nasty work. Nasty work.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
First, You showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're going to answer the
theatrics are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people, but I'm going to answer the question.
How many have you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
The time belongs.
I think it's very interesting.
Reclaiming my time.
I think it's very interesting.
You can
When
reclaim
he
your
talks
time,
about
but
they
reclaiming my time,
indicted,
Mr.
the
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted
clock.
him twice.
Mr. Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and stop the clock and restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
35
And
seconds,
I
Mr.
am
Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch. Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I
anything,
did tell you because we
washed
saw
up
what you did in the
loser
Senate.
Lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Wow. Wow. What a nasty, nasty, vile woman. Nasty, vile woman.
To remind us all for the record that the 34 convictions, not indictments, convictions of former President, incoming President Trump were by a jury of his peers. Thank you, Ms. Bondi, for being here today, and I too would like to welcome your family and friends who are here. Appreciate the opportunity to meet yesterday to learn about your priorities and discuss a number of issues that are important to me. But I got to tell you, as I reflected on our conversation yesterday and as I've observed the hearing today, I continue to have significant reservations on your ability to function as a truly independent Attorney General for your friend. Let's keep referring to him, your friend, President-elect Trump. So I hope you can address some of these concerns through your responses to my questions here. Now, the first issue area is something that we didn't get a chance to touch on yesterday. So I actually want to follow up on some of Senator Durbin's questions from earlier about the 2020 election. And to be specific, on the day after the 2020 presidential general election, you traveled to Philadelphia to appear alongside President Trump's then attorney, Rudy Giuliani. And together, you falsely asserted that President Trump had, quote, won Pennsylvania in that election. Now, I want to be clear, at that moment, there were still at least 1 million ballots left to be counted in Pennsylvania. Of course, President Biden went on to win the state by more than 80,000 votes. But in the following days, even after the results were clear, you continued to double down on the big lie, promoting falsehoods about election fraud and cheating without offering any actual evidence. And I remember it clearly because I served as California Secretary of State at the time, and I invited anybody associated with the Trump campaign who was making these claims to come forward with evidence of irregularities in the election or massive voter fraud. 4 years later, I still have seen none. So I ask you today, do you have any evidence of election fraud or irregularities in the 2020 election?
So, First Senator.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
First Senator.
Do you have evidence, yes or no?
First Senator. I'm so sorry about the fires to you and Senator Schiff and what you're going through in your states. I have to say that.
I appreciate that.
All
My
of
clock is ticking, and I want to
all
hear
of our
your
hearts go out to everyone in California for what you're facing right now. I'm glad you asked the question about Pennsylvania.
It's a yes or no question. Do you have evidence, yes or no?
Senator, I was hoping you'd ask the question.
Do you have evidence, yes or no?
I traveled to Pennsylvania.
Do you have evidence,
I traveled,
yes or no?
Senator, to Pennsylvania.
Okay, you're not answering my question. If you have no evidence to offer, let me ask you this. Will you now retract your previous statements that Trump won Pennsylvania in the 2020 election, yes or no?
Oh, Senator, I traveled to Pennsylvania, and let me tell you what I saw firsthand.
Yes or
no?
no?
I didn't talk about California because I was not in California. I talked about
yes or no? That's what I'm gonna ask.
I talked about Pennsylvania because
Mr. Chair,
I was there.
I'm going to move on because you're not answering my questions. And I want to know, colleagues, for everybody, members of the committee and everybody watching, that the attorney who stood beside, Mr. Giuliani, was making very similar statements. And he has since been disbarred from multiple jurisdictions for making these false claims about the 2020 election in court. And like Mr. Giuliani, as you noted today, you've taken...
And Giuliani was one of Trump's guys. Giuliani was one of Trump's attorneys during the first term. Loyalty gets you nowhere with this man, but okay, they gonna learn.
To uphold the Constitution just as an attorney. And now you're asking us to consider you to serve as the chief law enforcement officer in our country? So it's imperative, Ms. Bondi, that you subscribe to facts and evidence and not politically convenient conspiracy theories. Your job will be, your job will be to protect voters and election workers, not to undermine and dox them. Now, I know that earlier you agreed that Joe Biden is in fact president, but many of the president-elect's inner circle continue to spread the big lie about the 2020 election. Then we'll move on to a different topic.
Senator, you were speaking. May I speak? You cut me off when I was speaking.
You can speak, and I hope you answer, Ms. Bondi.
Well, I'd
now,
like to answer the previous one, Senator.
When we met yesterday,
you pointed your finger at me and said you were speaking. Let me answer my question. I'm not going to be bullied by you, Senator.
The 14th Amendment of the United States of America, which was deeply disappointing.
I guess you want to hear my answer about Pennsylvania.
After I gave an opportunity to study overnight. So can you tell me in this committee what the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment says?
Senator, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm not here to do your homework and study for you. If I'm confirmed as
You're the one asking for a confirmation vote,
you cut me off. Can I please finish?
What does the 14th Amendment say?
Senator, the 14th Amendment we all know addresses birthright citizenship. I've been a state prosecutor. I've been a state AG. I look forward to, even given your remarks today, working with you and the people of California if I am confirmed as the 87th Attorney General of the United States of America. I didn't take your homework assignment. I'm sorry. I was preparing for today.
So on the 14th Amendment, now you've testified repeatedly to this committee that you will uphold the laws of this country and defend the Constitution of the United States. Do you believe birthright citizenship is the law of the land, and will you defend it regardless of a child born in the United States?
Okay. Let's go here. I mean, everybody wants a woman like this on their team until it's...
Regarding public safety. Thank you. Nothing. Thank you for the insult. It's clear you didn't come to Congress prepared to answer questions that the American people have every right to have answered. I think we get it. You don't want to answer the question.
No, you don't get it.
That's a clip. That's a short clip. Oh, where's the longer clip? Where's the longer clip at? Okay, let's go here. Nasty work. This is riveting
There are instances
content.
of allies of
Riveting.
the president who seem to be getting let off the hook. I won't reiterate what some of my colleagues have already brought up in terms of the dismissal of the investigation into Tom Homan and his alleged acceptance of $50,000 as payment by undercover FBI agents posing as business executives looking to secure contracts with a future Trump administration. Because if the reports are true, it's not just the underlying conduct of Mr. Homan, which would be absolutely unacceptable, but the dismissal of the investigation charges raises concerns about the influence of the White House on the Department of Justice. Again, a simple question, and I'd appreciate a simple and brief answer. Whose decision was it to end this investigation?
I have answered that question multiple times, yet you didn't have the courtesy to be sitting in here for the hearing. I'm not going to answer it again. And I find it interesting that you want order in this proceeding now. Excuse me, Senator.
Then
You
I'll
want
ask a
order in this
follow-up question.
proceeding
Mr.
now.
Chairman, order,
You sure
please.
didn't
I'll
have
ask a
order when
follow-up
you
question.
stormed Secretary Nome
Mr. Chairman,
at a press
Mr.
conference in
Chairman, order,
California,
please.
did you?
I'll ask a follow-up question. Would you commit to either releasing the tape or at least making it available for members of this committee to review, yes or no?
Senator, you have not been sitting in here this entire hearing. I've answered the question, and I also want to tell you that our ATF agents have seized 25,000 illegal firearms.
So we will try again and move on to different
in your
topics.
home state, we are prosecuting
Chairman,
illegal
order,
aliens
please.
who have
Wow. So let's go here. Fascinating. This is why I say, urban folk, this is your time to get into politics, man. It's wide open.
But, instead of talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, who hopefully will die in prison, you should be talking about Irina Zarutska.
I have a couple of
died
other
on a
questions.
subway.
Right, and I absolutely...
You don't talk about that.
I have been talking about it and actually helping with these issues. But we're going to move back to you.
I bet we are.
Yes, of course, because you're here to testify. That's what the whole point of this endeavor is. So, of course, we're moving back to you. It is all about you. Should Donald Trump pardon or commute her sentence? Should she be released from prison, yes or no?
I already answered that question.
Good. I'm very glad. I really like this bipartisan agreement about
when
what
it
should
agrees
happen.
with you. But you don't want to talk about Irina Zarutska. You don't want to talk about
I talk about
murdered
her all
by
the
a
time,
violent crime
but I am not
in
here
your
to
jurisdiction.
testify before Congress. You are.
Where's the one when she argues with the woman, the Jew? Where is? Hold on, I'm gonna find that clip and we gonna get out of here. Pam Garwani, Congress, Jew. Where's that clip? Because that was a nasty exchange. Here it is. This is it. This is a nasty exchange. She's out of here, man. She's out of here. She's the first one to go. Y'all bugging. These white folk gonna listen. In the words of Ty, Grandpa's kid's gonna let the AR sing. I'm sorry, man. Grandpa's kid's gonna let the AR sing.
Didn't see one tweet, not one. I didn't see one tweet when Joe Biden was in office about Bill Clinton. Didn't ask Merrick
I need to know who this woman is behind her, just for research purposes.
Garland anything about Epstein, not once when he was
weak sauce.
And also,
She said weak sauce. I ain't heard that term in 7-8 years. Look the old lady talk about weak sauce. I love it.
I want the record to reflect that, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Is Jewish.
I just want to be clear.
Do you want to go there, Attorney General? Or do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust? Really?
The committee will be in order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
Wow.
The ranking member knows that.
Wow. Fascinating. Okay. Fascinating. I'm here for it, man. Who was the woman sitting behind Pam Bondi at Senate hearing today? Or was it yesterday? It was today? guess I'll never know. I guess I'll never know who she was. I'll never know. Do we care about Jasmine Crockett? Do we care about Jasmine Crockett? Come on, let's go Jasmine Crockett. Y'all want to see sister girl Keisha versus Miss Ann. This is what y'all been waiting for. Keisha versus Miss Ann. Right? Okay, let's go.
Thank you. I seek unanimous consent to introduce into the record the research that Representative Kamlager-Dove and I referenced concerning the threat of right-wing domestic terrorism, which the Department of Justice scrubbed from its website in September.
Without objection, the gentlelady from Texas is recognized.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. And to be clear, I'm not going to ask any questions of this witness because this witness has revealed that she has no intentions of answering questions. But instead, I'm going to ask some very basic questions really quickly of my colleague, Becca Ballant, if she will answer right or wrong, raping children.
Wrong.
Right or wrong, killing random citizens.
Definitely wrong.
Right or wrong, enriching yourself as the sitting president of the United States.
Definitely wrong.
Okay, thank you, because I probably never would have got that with our witness. Our witness who somehow is a lawyer but does not understand how it works with witnesses. I'm not really sure what law school she went to and what all kind of cases she tried, but typically when you come into a space and somebody's a witness, then they sit there and they answer questions instead of asking questions. And then we also have this objection that we use as lawyers called non-responsive when a witness fails to actually answer the question. But nevertheless, let me address the survivors because that's exactly who they are. They are not victims, they are survivors. Let me say thank you for having more courage and moral clarity in your pinky fingers than the entire Department of Justice. We are currently the laughing stock of the world, partially because of the failed leadership within the DOJ as we see kings and queens falling everywhere around the world. But we don't know the basics of right and wrong in this country because it's not about partisanship. And that's why I applaud Thomas Massie, because he's the only person on the Republican side that has a backbone and knows how to stand up to corruption. But nevertheless, let me keep going. My Democratic colleagues have been...
Don't this shit make you want to get into politics, y'all? Hey, listen, don't this shit make you want to run for an office? Yo, this shit makes me hype. This shit makes me hype. You should be hyped to run for office. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. You should be excited at the opportunity. You should be chomping at the bit like, you know what? I can do a better job than these motherfuckers. Let me in. Get out of my way. I'm hyped. You should be hyped for this.
Attacked this entire committee hearing. They have been lied on. And frankly, the American people weren't looking for that. They were looking for answers about the corruption that they see coming from this administration. In the written testimony of this witness, of this particular witness, she stated that when she took office, she had two main goals. The first was to end the weaponization of justice, and second, to return the department to its core mission. Not only have you lied about both, you've intentionally done the exact opposite. You're spending more taxpayer resources arresting journalists than you are prosecuting pedophiles and creeps. In fact, your boss, the President of the United States, stated that this administration, quote, took the freedom of speech away. And at your direction, DOJ has arrested Don Lemon and Georgia Ford. And I might add that y'all actually had a judge that rejected y'all for trying to arrest Don Lemon before, just like the grand jury rejected y'all as it relates to Senator Kelly, just like a grand jury rejected y'all as it relates to Senator Slaughter.
My man, God bless you. God bless you, Jigga. Pramila Jayapal. Oh my gosh. God bless you, sir. God bless you. Wait, Pramila. God bless you, sir. Oh Lord. That's not her. Sir, sir. That's not her. That is not her. Why you do me like this, bruh? The woman sitting behind Pam Bondi. No, this is not her. Try again. Damn it. Get my hopes all up.
Like the case against Tish James was dismissed and the case against Mr. Comey was dismissed. I completely don't get how it is that you're sitting at the top of DOJ because you don't seem to be good at your job. You're spending more taxpayer resources arresting these journalists. In fact, we know after Georgia Ford and Don Lemon were arrested, we know that there were homes of journalists that were raided. We know that threatened prosecution against students protesting your actions and forced tech companies to remove apps used to track ISIS activities. But let's circle back to you protecting pedophiles and creeps, because I want to talk about the president and his possible involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I don't know what the president might have done with Jeffrey Epstein, but unlike this administration, I believe that facts matter, so let's talk about the facts. Fact number one, Donald Trump is one of the most named people in the Epstein files. At least 5,000 files contains more than 38,000 references to Trump, his wife, or Mar-a-Lago. Fact number two, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell made young girls available to Trump on multiple occasions. For example, according to this file, Ghislaine Maxwell presented a young girl to President Trump who spent more than 20 minutes apparently flirting with her. Here's another example. This shows notes from FBI investigators that describe Jeffrey Epstein transporting a victim to Mar-a-Lago to meet with President Trump, where he bragged to Trump that, quote, this is a good one. Now, I'm not saying that the president is a pedophile, but there is a lot of evidence in these files that suggests that he's very close friends with a lot of men who are pedophiles. What's crazy about all of this is just that this is a big cover-up. And this administration is engaged in it. In fact, this administration is complicit. But there are numerous others, like how the DOJ is attempting to obstruct justice in the investigation of the rogue agents who have murdered American citizens, or how the DOJ seized voter data from Fulton County in an attempt to steal the 2026 midterm elections, or how federal agents have Tom Homan on tape accepting a bribe and your agency killed the investigation, or how your agency is ready to give the president a $230 million payday, which is unconstitutional. The Constitution is clear. The president shall not receive any payment except his salary while in office. The fact of the matter is that you will be remembered as one of the worst.
So he shut down the Department of Crypto, right? He shut down so there's no crypto regulation right now. There was a committee that was in charge of regulating crypto, and they shut that down. And then they deduced that Trump has made close to 1.4 billion in crypto. I'm just like, wow, man. Listen. Let me go find a woman sitting behind Pam Bondi.
Attorney General Bondi,
it's her here,
6 days
in
ago,
white.
You posted online, quote, "If you come for law enforcement, the Trump administration will come for you," end quote. I want to show you just a brief video. It's about 30 seconds, and I'll ask you a couple questions about it.
You guys are disgusting, man. Hey, you guys are disgusting. I'm former law enforcement. You're disgusting. You are the Nazi. You are the Gestapo. You can't see it.
Wait, in what state is that, though? During my record, I can't run for office, but I can pack the heat. Wow, I'm not understanding. So you can vote, right? He said, Jasmine, fine. I don't know about all that.
Your pension, right? Your pension. Your retirement, right? That's what runs your life, your retirement. The sad thing is they're not even going to get their pension because they're being worthless. Hey, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Attorney General Bondi, that man works for you now, right?
Who was that, Congressman?
The man in that video.
Y'all. This motherfucker right here. That's who I'm looking for. This woman right here. Okay? I need to know who this woman is for research purposes, okay? Let's continue.
The man in that video, the one who was in the police-worn body cam footage, the one allegedly yelling "kill him" at police officers on January 6th, his name is Jared Wise.
He does work for us.
He works for you at the Department of Justice.
He does.
This is an individual whom a federal grand jury indicted for 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors related to his participation in the attack on January 6th. One of those charges was forcibly assaulting, resisting, opposing, impeding, intimidating, and interfering with police with the intent to commit another felony. This is who you choose as the chief law enforcement officer of the United States of America to hire at the Department of Justice. Someone on video yelling "kill him" at police officers, right?
I believe he was pardoned by President Trump.
Oh, he was pardoned. You're right. You're right. Pardoned by President Trump for his offense. Pardoned for yelling "kill him" at police officers. And yet you expect hardworking police officers across the country to believe that you take law enforcement seriously. You could imagine the reaction of so many folks across the country hearing the chief law enforcement officer of the United States refuse to even condemn what that individual whom you've now hired did. But in any event, let's talk a little bit about some of the other divisions within the Department of Justice and what's happened over the last year. You're familiar with the Public Integrity section of the DOJ's criminal division. I think it's referred to as PIN. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know which presidential administration under which the PIN was first created?
I can tell you what administration that the weaponization was ended under.
I'll reclaim my time. This wasn't a trick question.
You don't get to
Madam
reclaim
Attorney
your time.
Madam Attorney General.
Because I don't like
Mr. Chairman,
I don't
explain
answer
the witness that
questions the way
he
you
does
like
reclaim his time.
Because I don't answer a question to your satisfaction.
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Attorney General, the time belongs to the gentleman from Colorado.
The president under which PIN was created was Gerald Ford. It was created after Watergate. I'm not asking a question, Madam Attorney General. The administration under which it was created was Gerald Ford. When you first started as the Attorney General of the United States, there were 35 people working in that office. There are now 2 people working in that office because you have gutted it. How many people work for the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team in the criminal division today?
Can I answer the question about PIN?
I've asked you a question. How many
You've
people
asked me
work?
a question, but you don't
how
want
many
to
people
answer.
work
I'm
for the
not
National
gonna answer questions
Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team? You won't answer how many?
I'll answer PIN.
You.
PIN will not be
You know what?
weaponized.
Actually, you know what?
What's
Madam
funny
Attorney
about
General,
this?
I'll say to the chairman.
What's funny about
Chairman,
this?
you know what? The answer is, and I think I understand
funny
why the
about
Attorney General
this?
does not want to answer the question, because you eliminated the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team last year. So I understand why you want to tell the American people who works there.
Yeah, I
no one
understand
works
why
there
you don't want to
anymore,
talk about
Madam
Mohammed
Attorney
Solomon in
General.
your
So,
district,
in any event,
who murdered people.
Mr. Chairman, will you stop the clock so his time is not wasted by the
I've been
witness?
very generous with allowing extra time when we have these little disputes.
I understand.
You got the time.
I might as well ask the chairman these questions
I'd be happy
because
to
what
answer
is
some of your questions.
what's profound. The questions I've asked.
I agree. Democrats are basically pussies and Republicans are bullies. And until Democrats grow a spine and some balls, that's why you should no longer ascribe to Republicans and Democrats. Like, they're both different feathers on the same bird, man. Like, but this should not deter anybody from running for office. I don't care what the position is. I don't care how small and insignificant you think the position is. This should be everybody's time right now to get out and run for office.
The crime in your
Questions I've
district.
asked, Mr. Chairman, are not trick questions. They're not gotcha questions. They're actually basic questions about how the Department of Justice functions and the unwillingness of this Attorney General to answer them in good faith. When a member of Congress asks how many people work at the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team and the Attorney General refuses to answer it.
That's what, okay, the National Cryptocurrency, that's the team that they gutted, right? And Trump, and they gave the fact that he pretty much has 1.4 billion in crypto, chilling. Insane, man.
It is not a coincidence. It's because she eliminated the team. Why? Because her boss, the President of the United States, is making money hand over fist, $1.4 billion over the course of the last year through cryptocurrency holdings. Jeez. I think what is happening at the Department of Justice is a disgrace, Mr. Chairman, and I would urge you to gain control of this hearing. With that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Yeah, I would ask the gentleman, does he agree with the standing up of the Deputy Attorney General for dealing with fraud? That's something that's happened in this administration. First time. You talked about Penn. That happened with this Justice Department.
We're talking about this committee. Mr. Chairman, had you answered the question, had the Attorney General answered the question in that way, perhaps this hearing would have some modicum of resembling something that has typically been fairly conventional, an oversight hearing in the Department of Justice.
The gentleman's
that is
time
not
has expired. The gentlelady from Wyoming is recognized.
Wow. Yeah, these white. Listen, this is Jacob and Esau, y'all. All we can do is take advantage of the infighting. That's all we can do. That's all we should do is take advantage of the infighting. Grab some power, grab some land, grab some assets, grab some resources. You know, we should be like, oh, they left that open. Oh, that's wide open. Oh, they left that behind. They forgot about that. They're not watching this. That's what we should be doing. Quietly amassing power. Quietly amassing power. All right. Hey. Oh, listen, I've been saying vote everybody out. I've said vote everybody out. Any Democrat that voted to gut that voted for the big beautiful bill, that voted to gut Medicare, that voted to gut anything that's beneficial to American people, get them out of there too. Hey, I said vote everybody out. They all got to go. Start brand new blood. What do you have to lose at this point? You know, that's my take on it. That's what I would tell the voters to do.